Well, back in Sweden, everyone is talking about Vietnam. I mean, just look for the past 3 decades. Your growth has been remarkable at growth level at 7% per year. I mean, that's totally fantastic. So we have 70 companies from Sweden that are active on the Vietnamese market right now, but I'm sure more will come for the upcoming years. I just met with several of the Swedish companies here, and all of them are talking about investing even more in the Vietnamese market. So from a Swedish business community standpoint, we have a very positive outlook for Vietnam. And that's one of the main reasons for me being here. First of all, that you have very high growth numbers, that your government is reforming and things are moving in the right direction. You have a well-educated labor market as well. So I think there are several reasons. And you're a large country. You have 100 million inhabitants here. So there are many reasons to come here. And the thing I noticed, just if you compare Vietnam today for 10 or 15 years ago. 10, 15 years ago, Swedish companies came here to produce things. Now they're coming here to produce things, but also to research and develop, because you have so many very talented engineers as well. So I think the next level here will be for Swedish retail companies to come here for the Vietnamese market, for the Vietnamese market as well. Well, first of all, I completely agree. And Sweden, we've been a long-term friend and partner to Vietnam. We were the first Western country that extended diplomatic relations with Vietnam in 1969. So we have a long friendship with Vietnam. And it's not just on the diplomatic side and in the business sector. Actually, lots of Swedes have traveled here and visited Vietnam for many years. So I think this is a fantastic friendship that we can build even stronger. And as you mentioned, especially in the digital sector, I think we can do a lot more. We have many software companies. Maybe Spotify is quite big here in Vietnam as well, yeah. And I mean, Spotify is of course our largest one. It's Europe's largest one, but we have more companies like that. So we would gladly help you, and I know that many of those companies would like to invest in Vietnam as well. So I think we can do a lot more together there. We have so many areas that we're already collaborating. I mean, we have the Karolinska Institutet in the health sector, so many educational programs. I know that the life science sector is quite keen to come to Vietnam. So right now I'm working day and night to get more Swedish companies to come here. I think that's my #1 priority. As I said, we have 70 companies here. I think there should be 100 and 150 Swedish companies here, especially in the smaller segments, to actually get smaller companies to come here. So I think that's my top priority, to open the Swedish companies' eyes for the Vietnamese market. And especially now when some countries, and to be frank, we're talking about the US, they're closing the door, raising tariffs, not only towards Vietnam, but also towards Europe. Sweden will respond by opening up. We're one of the most free trade friendly countries in the world, and I know that Vietnam is also very free trade friendly. So we have to be close to our friends and allies when it comes to free trade, because it's through trade everyone can get richer. I mean, a world where we raise tariffs against each other, it will be a poorer world. It would be a much more unsecure world. So you should see Sweden as a friend when it comes to trade as well. Well, I love free trade and I hate tariffs. I mean, in my book, tariffs is the worst word in the dictionary. It's through trade that we can have more innovation and more scientific progress. And one of the reasons why Sweden is one of the most innovative countries in the world is thanks to trade. And I think in order to become innovative, you have to have several institutions functioning. First of all, you have to have open markets and free trade. Second, we have in Sweden, we have one of the most well-functioning ecosystems for the capital markets in Europe. everything from private equity companies to VC firms to we have the most listed companies in our stock exchange in all of Europe, and we're not the largest country in Europe. And of course a well-functioning education system as well. So I think there are several institutions that has to work. And looking at Vietnam for the last 30, 40 years, Sweden has been a part in the aid programs to actually help Vietnam build up those institutions. That's one of the things we're very proud of in Sweden. And just to follow your progress for the last 3 decades, I mean, that's fantastic. And we would like to be a partner for the coming 30 or 100 or even 1,000 years to come. Sweden has a very diversified industry background, so we're basically everywhere. In retail, we have, of course, H&M, and H&M, I mean, the Vietnamese market is important for sales, but also for production. We have, of course, IKEA. The Vietnamese market is important there as well when it comes to the market, but also from production. But everything happening in Vietnam right now, with you building new ports and airports and new railways and roads, we have several Swedish companies active in all those segments. So I think there are many business opportunities here for Swedish companies. I think me coming here is a good step in that direction, and of course we would like to welcome ministers from Vietnam to Sweden as well. And I think to actually get the Swedish companies and the Vietnamese companies together to talk to each other, to find new partnership. But right now the partnership and our friendship is quite strong, so we just have to continue that path and looking forward for the Vietnamese market. I mean, as I said, everyone is talking about Vietnam back in Stockholm and Sweden. So you're doing a lot of things very good. So just continue on that path. Well, one company that recently made a big announcement is the Swedish company Syre. It's a $1 billion investment here in Vietnam. And as I said, I just talked to several Swedish companies active here. H&M was one of them, and several others, and they're all talking about investing even more in Vietnam. I asked them quite frank, if you're looking at the entire Southeast Asian region, what country do you find the most interesting? All of them said Vietnam directly. So I think that the Vietnamese market is quite interesting, and what maybe the most interesting part is that you're moving up the value chain from just manufacturing up to research and development. Swedish companies are coming here not only for manufacturing goods, but also for the service industries right now, and also for research and development. They know that you can get some of the best talent, some of the best engineers in the world here in Vietnam. So we are, from the government side, we're doing everything that we can to help in that process. The message is that I will bring home to Sweden is that Vietnam is a great market, and I think that a lot more than the 70 companies that are active here should come to Vietnam, to visit Vietnam, to invest in Vietnam, to trade with Vietnam. With all the reforms going on right now, this is super interesting. And to be honest, I mean, look at the world right now. There aren't many Vietnams in the world right now. There aren't many countries that are growing at 7%, and I mean, you want to go up to 8 and even 10%. I mean, that's fantastic. So that's the key message that I will bring home to Sweden.